What's good with it, man?
How are you?
I'm doing great, brothers. I'm doing fine.
Man,
What's up?
I love
What's
your
up?
lives, man. I've been learning a lot from you.
I appreciate that, man.
Like
I,
I said the last time when I was up here, I was like, I consider myself a good man, but there's still stuff I'm still learning too, and I feel like, like the other dude was saying, like, you want to continue to learn and you want to continue to, love your spouse and take care of her and, do everything you can,
hmm
so I don't ever get why it's always, they need to submit and they need to do this and they need to do that. And it's just like what I don't that shit just I don't get that line of thinking. I don't get it.
Me
it
either.
just it be
I
driving
mean,
me
you could,
crazy.
you could, you could kind of understand. Not to say that you got to agree, but you could just understand. Like, okay, they just wanted to be able to do what they wanted. You know what I mean? Like, they just
Right,
want, like, just to be able to just get away with murder, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
that's how I look at it. Doesn't
yep,
make it right. You know what I mean?
right.
But I definitely get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, nah, I get it. You know. But Mello, what you think about the prompt, fam?
Hey, thanks for bringing me up. I don't know. I was just sitting here reading it. I mean, I don't know, man. Men have changed nowadays. I don't think they're looking for a serious relationship anymore. They're just looking, for some convenient so they can be on their way without any, hassle. Times is changing.
When wasn't that the case?
I mean, it just seemed like it used to be a time where men actually looked for, wives. They dated to be married. I mean, there's always been a subsection of men that just, have been out there, for that one thing. But I mean, but men, for the most part, around how I kind of grew up, was looking for, marriage, and they were marrying women. But I mean, that's long gone now.
So do you think that when it comes to like marrying women, is it what is okay? I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this so I get just because men want to marry women, does that mean that men actually want to treat women right?
No, I mean, you do have some people that's marrying out of convenience, so they got more of a wife slave. I mean, it all depends on if a person has truly healed and they understand all the subtle nuances of being married. So, for the most part, I would say a lot of people just don't understand all the intricate details of marriage. So, they weren't brought up right and they end up mistreating people because of that.
All right, I'm a peaceful. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think that men are marrying women to, or were historically marrying women to treat them right?
Nope.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, I think Mello, I think that's where the disconnect is because saying that like me, like okay, because basically what I'm saying is that once upon a time in our environment, in our culture, being like openly, promiscuous, men or women was frowned upon, right? It was a lot of purity, politics going on, right? We get that. But that didn't mean that men were actually that didn't like create or foster a healthy environment where men really were like was like, hey, I'm going to take care of women and I want to get a woman and take care of her and treat her right, yada yada yada. It was never that. It was just, oh, let me go on and get married because that's what I'm supposed to do and that's what they're telling me to do in society. You know what I mean? So trying to say like now, like, oh, men have changed. Like, I don't think men have really changed that much. I think society has changed. Would you agree with that? Or do you think that men actually have changed? I'm very curious.
I mean, I think society has changed, but I think men also within society has changed. I mean, for a whole, because I just look at the values just aren't the same. Because I think men used to take pride in going to work, working long, hard hours, and being able to take care of his family. Now I don't think it's really like that. anymore. That's why I said they're not looking at, working them
I
hard,
have a question.
Go
Is
ahead.
it?
Hold on, peaceful. Let me answer Mello, and then you can go.
Yep. Yep.
Because most men, when they work long, hard hours, they still can't take care of their family. So it's not like they don't take pride in it, but that's a big part of it. So society has changed. I don't think men have changed, bro. In this, I'm being honest with you. I don't think men have changed much. I think back in that day, the way society was set up, right, for men, there was a window. There was a window in this society where society was set up where all men had to do was go to work. And for the most part, if you went to work, you could buy a house, you could buy 2 cars, you could, you know what I'm saying? You could have kids could play in the front yard, all that picket fence, all that type of stuff. For the most part, right? And to me, that's like a consolation prize. That's a participation trophy because everybody got that. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got that. I don't mean that in a literal sense, but I'm saying it was way easier for you to go to work, no matter what your job was. For the most part, you could still buy a home. You know what I mean? You could still buy an apartment if you're in New York or whatever the case may be. Wherever you work, you can still own some property. You can own some land. Like we were talking about earlier, college was free. All of that stuff. Like, so we had a bunch of participation trophies going on for me because we didn't have to really be competitive. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we really didn't have to be competitive. But I mean, now it's like, no matter how competitive men are, for the most part, you can't do what you're saying. Most men can't do what you're saying, or what men used to be able to do financially. Like most men can't go to work and make enough money to support and sustain his family to any real, like not scraping by, you know what I mean? Like like the same things 1-to-1. Go to work, you can buy a home, you can buy 2 cars, kids can go to college. Like you can't do that on one income, like for like 99% of people, you know what I mean? Like for the vast majority of people. That's just tough to do. You know what I'm saying? So once again, like I don't think men have changed that much at all because men were abusive back then and men are abusive now. Men were neglectful back then and men are neglectful now. Men want to extract all the labor out of women and all the intrinsic value out of women, and men want to do that now. Like I'm not understanding like where is this, where's the difference? You see what I mean? Like where's the difference at? I'm not seeing it. But go ahead, Peaceful.
You hit everything that you said. You answered my question for the most part because I don't know if he said code of ethics or like I don't know what he said earlier, but he said something about how values or something like that back in the day, and I just be always wondering what are you talking about exactly? Because to me, it just seems like it's always been men that are taking things, hurting people, you know what I'm saying, making up not lies, manipulating, doing all these different things. And it's just, I'd be just trying to be like, what? It don't sound like it's that different. It's like you guys are complaining because, women, like you said earlier, can, open up a bank account, and, basically can do their own thing in terms of finances and that they don't need us for that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's like the only thing that I can see that like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like I would hope that you would want somebody, especially in this economy, to be working with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I like enjoying my family. I like being with my family and my wife. And it's just back then, yeah, you could. You know what I'm saying?
You could go to work 35,
right.
35, 40 hours a week, come home. You got Friday and you got Saturday and Sunday off. You know what I mean? Like you kick back, and when you know what I mean? Like it was just a different life. Like I said, like that, it was really like it was a bunch of participation trophies going on.
Yeah, mad racism. Mad racism. Stupid. That always gets left out. Every time I bring something up, they're always like, yeah, the good old days. And I be like, damn, you really gonna pass over like racism? Y'all was really, misogyny, really beating the shit out your wives, like still now, but you know what I mean? They just make it seem as though that it wasn't like that. And it's like, yes, it was. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely was. Like they romanticized it because they would give up. I think a lot of black men would give up whatever progress we've made as black people to get back into a place where they have access to women.
And that shit is stupid. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but like, what the fuck? Sorry, my bad. I'm like cussing and stuff.
No, you good. Yeah, I just think that a lot of black men would. So yeah, Mello, I'm just curious, brother. Like, I don't get it. I'm not seeing where men are so different. But I think my question to you is, do you agree, or well, how do you feel? Do you agree or disagree that when men say "be my peace," that what they really mean is like for a woman just to be like subservient and to be their doormat?
That's actually a pretty excellent question. If somebody really knows what their peace is, then you know that peace comes from within yourself. You create and you maintain your own peace. It's up to you to find someone that won't disturb that peace, you know, that can add to it.
I think that's what they mean. I think that's what they mean, though.
Now, because some people expect throughout their chaos that they expect their mate, you know, to be able to bring peace to them, you know, in midst of their chaos, even though they're supposed to create their own peace when they're going through something and not expect them to try and pull them through it.
The reason why I say that I think that it's also men being like, you know, like, don't question me or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the man is like, I'm peaceful. Like, basically what men want, they want to be in a relationship with the woman, be able to go to work, come home, and neglect the woman, and then not have the woman like challenge him at all and challenge him to, you know, step up, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be, to be a better man or be a better husband or, you know, show up or whatever the case may be. That's what I think most men are looking for. So that's what I get from Be My Peace. It's like, I want to be able to come home, not do much, kick my feet up, not pay, you know, pick up the babies when I want to pick up the babies and pay attention to the kids when I want to pay attention to the kids, pay attention to you when I want to pay attention to you, not when you need me to pay attention to you or not proactively pay attention to you. I want it to be a reaction. You know, I want it to be like, I'll come around when I want to come around. I want to be able to go in my man cave. I want to be able to watch as much sports as I want to watch and drink as much as I want to drink. And like, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I get from it. And they're like, don't disturb that, because that's my peace. Don't come in my man cave and be like, hey, peaceful, wasn't you supposed to take Johnny out to, you know what I mean, go do X, Y, and Z 2 hours ago? Like that, like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's like they don't want that. They want you just to be like, oh, leave daddy alone. He's in there watching his games again. You know how he gets when he watches the games, Johnny. Just let him watch the game. He'll come play catch with you later. Later never comes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I get from Be My Peace most of the time.
Yep. And don't disturb me while I'm trying to build my legacy. Yep.
Don't disturb not building my legacy. God damn.
I know some dudes. Yep.
Jesus Christ.
I train and I work and I go to school and I do everything I can to be around my family, you know, and my wife. Like, that's, if I had to give up those things just to be around my wife and my kids, you know what I'm saying? That's what the first thing that's going to happen, you know?
What you mean? That's why, I know what you're saying there. I know what you're saying. Yeah, my bad.
Like, that's why I never understand why dudes, you know, like you said, it's always an excuse to be away from your family and your wife. Like, for what? That's, you know, and then I was talking to one of my boys the other day, and it was just like, you know, it was something that you said about how we turn around and try and be, you know, be victims and then be the predator at the same time. And it's just like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? That's hella contradictory. So, yeah. Yep.
Fair question. I've been asking it for weeks and nobody ain't been able to answer it. I've been asking that question for like months at this point. LJ said that's not what it means for most men. What do you mean, LJ?
Yeah, it is.
It's not. Y'all oversimplifying it. I'm not saying that the things you guys are saying aren't true as well. But what I'm saying is, most men, when they say that, they're looking for a certain level of cooperation. So if you need me to do something, like, we all know the difference between being nagged to do something versus being asked. And I think there's
Do we?
black psychologist on. I see her a lot on Instagram. I can't pronounce her name. I think it's IL or
LJ,
something.
wait. Do we know the difference between? Because I don't think we do. As a collect, you say I'm saying collectively. Do men know the difference between being asked to do something and being nagged? I don't think most men know. Because most men say everything, every time a woman asks her to do something, they classify it as nagging.
Yep, and I'm guilty of that shit too.
Me too.
Well, so I can't speak for every man. All I can say is, there's a difference between being asked to do something once or twice or whatever, and being given the opportunity. And if you guys don't do it within that opportunity that's granted, then yeah, then it's not nagging if she has to come back a third or fourth time to ask you to do something. And then there's things where you already know that it need to be done, and if you don't do it, and then she's got to remind you to do it, then yeah, that's not nagging either. When I'm talking, but we're getting away from what you asked me. When most of the times when I hear someone say, "Be my peace," well, yeah, when I hear most guys say, "Be my peace," what we really mean is, it's like, talk to me in a way that, like, every man knows that, or I should say, most women know how their men like to be communicated to. And a lot of times, I think what happens is, in relationships in general, people get frustrated and they get tired of having to say the same thing over and over again, or having to, approach the situation over and over again. So what happens is the one partner gets frustrated and they start talking to their partner in a way that isn't the nicest. And that's where I think that peace aspect comes in, because all day I already been at work having to deal with people, and especially in my line of work, dealing with angry people and having to soothe people frustrations over and solve problems and all of that. So when I get home, the last thing I want is to have to be getting into it with my woman. So what I mean is, it's not saying like I need to be abdicated from my responsibilities within the home. Just don't talk crazy to me when you're telling me what you need me to do, and communicate it to me.
And LJ, do you think most women have a problem with communicating with men?
Do I think most women have?
Let me ask the question a different way. Do you think that most women don't know how to be respectful and talk to men in a respectful tone?
I wouldn't say that. What I would say is I think, and I'm gonna be like 100% honest with you.
Okay.
I think most couples don't have the tools to effectively communicate with each other after an extended period of time. I think that's the broader issue.
But I know, but wait. So okay, so let's take it back. So you don't think you think most women know how to speak to men, right?
Yes.
I just okay, cool. So why are men going around telling women to be my peace when most women know how to be peaceful with men? Could it be that it's not what you're saying it is then? Because why
I
would
think
you?
you're skipping over what I'm saying. I'm not trying to place the blame on women. What I'm saying is that, and I think that the most studies, and there's a reason why there's a such thing as couples therapy. I think the majority of times couples lack the tools to communicate effectively after an extended period of time. Year 5, year 6, year 7. Some people learn to work through it without going to therapy. Others don't. And I think that is a large contributor to why some relationships fail. Like, if one of the partners in the relationship is not a good communicator, it could be the man, it could be the woman. It's going to create issues because they're a unit. Like, you can't have one half of the equation be really good at something and the other half not be good. It won't work.
I agree. I think both parties need to have emotional intelligence and good communication. But
And I would agree with you that in the large portion of the time, it's probably the men that need the work. I would agree with you.
I know. So I'm saying, but here's what I'm saying, LJ. I know that, you know that. I think the men know that. So when they say be my peace, it can't be that then. It can't be what you're describing, because most women know how to communicate with us. You see what I'm saying? Most men haven't run into a bunch of women that don't know how to communicate with men. You see what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, but you keep skipping over what I'm saying.
To say that that's not what it to try to make it to try to say that men, you're trying to rationalize it, right, in a way to make it seem like men aren't trying to manipulate women in some way with this phrase. And I'm telling you without a doubt, unequivocally, that they are. They literally are. Men are just trying to use it as a way to manipulate women. That's it. Because it's not rooted in anything real or common. Because you and I both agree that most women know how to communicate with us. They know how to watch their tone and all of that stuff with us. So
what
why
I'm
do you
saying is, okay, let me be abundantly clear.
Okay.
And not tiptoe around it. What
Okay.
I'm taking what you're saying as I'm gonna play your game, as you like to say.
Okay.
I'm taking what you're saying at its face value, which is the man is the problem, the woman knows how to communicate, right? What I'm saying is, in that scenario, the men, I'm not saying that they're being manipulative, you are, but what I am saying is that they don't have the tools to be able to say, hey, when you ask me to do X, Y, or Z, I would appreciate it if you approach it this way, or I would appreciate it if you approach it that way. Most men don't know how to have that conversation. And what happens is that if the woman is the better communicator, she gets tired of carrying the load, right? So if she gets tired of carrying the load of doing all the emotional labor,
but LJ, but wouldn't that prove that he's the one that doesn't know how to communicate? Because you just said
I just said that.
I know,
I
but
literally said that.
So he's the one that's disturbing the peace because he don't know how to communicate. That's my point. So once again, it wouldn't be him saying "be my peace." That doesn't make sense. He's the disruptor of peace because he don't know how to communicate. You see what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. Brother, I promise you, it doesn't make what you're saying. Based on what you're saying, it doesn't make sense.
And my wife would debo my ass if I told her after she asked me a million times, I would appreciate if you come at me differently.
Hey, brother. Hey, when I tell you that's a recipe for disaster because I've done it. That's a recipe for disaster. Brother, she already shouldn't have to tell you to do something. She already shouldn't have to tell you to do something. The shit she be telling you to do these stuff, you should think about this. How often do men have to tell their wives what to do? Almost never. Almost never. Our wives constantly have to remind. Hey, LJ, it sounds like there's a fight going on in your background. I'm gonna mute you up. Almost never. The women be having to tell us like, "Hey, remember to pick up the kids." Like, don't forget to pick your kids up from daycare today. Hey, your son gets out at 3:00. Don't forget he gets out at 3:00. Be at the bus. Hey, don't forget we got baseball practice. Like shit that you should be remembering. She's telling you that, and then she'll remind you again, or she'll do the. Hey, did you pay that ticket? Yeah, I haven't paid it yet. I'm gonna pay it tomorrow. I'm gonna pay it in 10. Pay it right now. No. I'm gonna pay it in 10 minutes. Oh, okay, whatever. 2 days later. Hey, did you ever pay that ticket? No, I didn't pay the ticket yet. I'm gonna pay it right now. Pay it right now. Please don't talk to me like that. Like, what the fuck? What's happening, man? That's all I'm saying. Like, maybe, hey, man, this could be one of those moments y'all could tell me that, hey, if this ain't happened to you, if this is me, cool. I'll take that. This just public projecting because that's how y'all like to paint the picture. He just projected. Okay, cool. If this ain't happened to you, gentlemen, then it's just me.
Well, I don't mean